are an RTO working with some technologies like additive manufacturing, digital technologies, also materials development and so on. So what we are doing in the Metabuilding Labs project is mainly related to additive manufacturing of large-scale components. So we are using thermoplastic materials to be used in large-scale components, to be used in facade elements such as tiles, which could add both an additional functionality and also an, let's say, architectural value to enhance the appearance of a building. So we started development with Room 2030, which is the owner of the pilot, and where we co-developed the product along with them. So the main interest for them is, on one hand, enhancing the functionality. So the target of this element is to capture the water from the rain, which is in the facade element, and then use it to feed a green wall with a novel geometry. So for them the technology is very interesting because, as I said before, not only the functionality but also being able to enhance their product by new designs, like new architectural features to be enhanced, or even being customized for specific clients. So the main technical challenges of the development on one side was related to the design, because we need to take advantage of additive manufacturing technologies, so we needed to be able to implement as much as possible new functionalities through design. So this is a challenge for the design itself of the product, which requires new design technologies and be able to implement them into the 3D design. On the other hand, related to the material itself, because we want to use a material which could be recyclable in the future, so you can take this material and use it all over again once the product is obsolete, but also being able to select the most appropriate material to be used in the outside applications. So you need to ensure that it's UV compatible, that the water absorption is acceptable for the material to be placed outside for long periods of time. So these are the main challenges that we work with in the product development. So the result of the collaboration up to now, we have just finishing printing the elements that will be installed in the facade of the element in Room 2030. So the point is that we will install there in the coming weeks, and then we will monitor the activity, let's say the performance of the element compared to the facade where they did not install this kind of elements. So we will compare how it works in regard of water collection activity and the growing of the plants inside the green wall. So these are the two main parameters we will control. So in our case, Metabuilding Labs was a really nice ecosystem, and probably our vision of this is very particular again within the Metabuilding Labs ecosystem, because for us it was really interesting to enhance the interaction with the SME companies on both sides. So from our side it was really interesting to get first-hand targets of what is interesting to do in order to put in value our technology. This is what Room 2030 provided us. And on the other hand, since Room 2030 is a company with very specific knowledge on their core activity, it was really interesting for them to be by the hand of a research technology institute which can help us explaining which are the limits of the technology, which are the applications, which can be accomplished by design, which are the limitations in terms of technology, materials, and so on and so forth. So it was a really nice way to establish the link between a company willing to innovate and a center with no expertise in that particular field. For me, it's important to open a little bit the scope of the Metabuilding Labs project and association, and not only bring it to the final need of a company willing to put a product in the market where they already have targeted a very specific test they need to accomplish, but also in a previous stage where they only have this idea and they don't know how to bring it to the ground, let's say, and they need companion not just in the testing or final qualification of the product, but also beforehand how to put it in the market, which are the technology enabler elements to move the project forward at the end of the day. So I encourage companies to be able to join the ecosystem just to put some ideas in the market. In that phase where it's just, you know, a crazy idea they are willing to develop, they don't know which are the main technological drivers or how can they be supported by technological resources. So RTOs are also in the network to provide this kind of services, and it's really useful for companies with nice ideas.